Hello everybody, my name is Octavian and together with Nico we'll present different quick fixes mechanism for XML documents. As George already told you, I will start with the XML quick fixes support in oXygen, and then after that Nico will present the Schematron quick fixes. So it is important to have documents without errors, right? And not all users know to fix the errors, or even if they know, they need a quick way to solve them. And we come to this idea to offer proposals to fix the errors. You can see these proposals as the proposals that the spell checker gives you when you misspell the word, for example, and it's easier to just use the proposal from the spell checker to fix the error than to find the wrong word or the wrong letter that you added there. Or maybe you don't know the spelling of the word, and the spell checker helps you by giving you the proposal. You can understand what's the problem. So it's the same problem also with the XML validation errors. So some of the problems can be fixed automatically, like an attribute is missing, or an element is required, or a value it's not correctly set in an attribute, or a reference to an invalid ID. So for these problems, we can provide fixes to solve them very easily. And also you can, for more complex problems, you can even create your own quick fixes, as you'll see with the Schematron quick fixes. In oXygen, we provide quick fixes for XSLT documents, for Untitled documents, and also for XML documents. Here we have quick fixes if you validate an XML document against a relaxNG schema or an XML schema, or even against a Schematron schema, which is in progress now. To display a quick fix in oXygen, you just need to place the caret on an error, and if oXygen can provide a quick fix for this problem, then a red bulb will appear on the stripe in the left. And to show the proposals, you just need to click the red bulb or use the shortcut to display it. I'll show you a simple example in oXygen. So I have here a project with some sample files, and I have a personal XML schema, XML file here, and has a problem. Here it's an invalid ID, and if we click on this error highlight,
can you make it larger?
yeah, I'll try it. I don't know how, but Command plus. Okay. Better? Okay. So we see that we have a red bulb here on the stripe. This means that oXygen can provide a quick fix for this problem. And to display the proposals, you just need to click the red bulb. And we see that here we have two errors, in fact. There are two invalid IDs. And oXygen proposes some IDs that are similar with the current one that that are not rated correctly. So you can also display the quick fix proposals in place, where you place the caret just by using the shortcut. On Mac, it's Met Alt 1, and it's displayed in place. Or you can use the contextual menu and the quick assist quick fix action from the contextual menu, and also is displayed in place, so you can easily access them. To apply a quick fix, you just need to select the proposal that you want to apply. These quick fixes are available on both text and author page, and even on Eclipse platform. And each time you make a modification in the document or you apply a quick fix, automatically the quick fixes are recomputed, and you always have valid quick fixes when you want to apply them. Let's apply some quick fixes on this error. For example, I just break this, okay? For example, for the hell and jack, let's say I want to select to fix it and use hell and Jackson instead. And we've seen that the modification that oXygen did was highlighted in the editor. And I have another error here. This is for Robert Taylor, which is not correctly set. So let's go to author page this time and use a similar action here. So you have also on the stripe, you see the red bulb. This means that you can provide a quick fix for this error. And it's a similar approach. If you select the quick fix, you see that Robert Taylor was corrected and the oxygen disappears. And I'll show you another one here for the manager. Also, we have an invalid ID, which is Harris, and in fact, the valid ID is Harris Anderson. So oxygen. I forgot to show my screen. Okay, and oxygen fix it also this one. So it's easy to apply a quick fix. You just need to click the error and then you show the proposals that you want to apply. For the XSLT, so we provide quick fixes for the XSLT errors. If you validate an XSLT with Saxon and it's for XSLT 2.0 or 3.0, we provide multiple quick fixes for a problem. For example, if you have a missing template, we can add a new template with the name that you want. A misspelled template, you can refer a template that it's already defined in your style sheet and has a similar name with the current one that you misspelled. Or a missing function, you can create a function or you can refer a function from the style sheet. Or a reference to an undeclared variable, you can create a global variable, a local variable, or a parameter very easily. And I will show some examples also for these quick fixes. I have here a style sheet with a couple of errors.
Increase the size.
Yeah. It's better? I think it's better. Okay. So I have here the first problem. It's a template, and this template does not exist. And I noticed that I misspelled a little bit the name of the template, so I forgot to add an R here. And let's say what oXygen does in this. So it proposed me to create a new fix with the name that I specified, or to refer a template that has a similar name, but this time has the correct spelling. So it detects automatically the templates with the similar names, and you can easily refer them. I'll choose to apply this quick fix and automatically changes here. Then I have another error here. In fact, there are 3 errors. It says that a variable is not declared in my style sheet. So let's see what oXygen does in this situation. We see that you can create a global variable, a local variable, or a parameter, or you can refer also already declared variables that can be referred in this place. And I'll choose to create a global variable. Automatically, the variable is added after the last variable declared in my style sheet. So you can easily create variables and have them added in the right place. You don't have to go up and declare the variables up in the style sheet and then come back. And now we have the errors gone. Next, we have another error. This time it's a function, and the function is not defined. We have a message here. But if we show the quick fixes, it says that this function is not defined, and oXygen provides us some quick fixes to create a function or to refer a function with a similar name. I will choose to create a new function, and the new function is added after my current template, and the parameters are set. You just need to type the implementation on the function, and this make it easier to develop a style sheet. And another example here. This time I have a call template which has a parameter that is not declared in the template. So let's see what oXygen proposes in this case. So you can add a parameter in the declaration. So define your parameter there, or you just remove the parameter from the call template. I'll choose to add the new parameter, and it takes me to the template declaration, and adds the parameter in the right place between the parameters that are already declared. So you can easily develop your style sheet by adding your parameter and refactoring your templates in this way. Then you just need to change also the other references. So the quick fixes for XSLT helps you to solve easily your problems, but you can also develop your style sheet. As you've seen, you can create templates, you can declare variables, or you can create a function, and it allows you to develop your style sheet more easily, and together with the quick assist support that also offers different refactoring action, it offers a complete development solution in oXygen. Next, we have the XML quick fixes. So we provide quick fixes for the validation problems when you validate an XML against a relaxed NG schema or against an XML schema, but also against a schematron. For the validation against XSD, we provide quick fixes for common problems like an attribute is missing, an element is required, an invalid ID, or problems like this. And I'll show you some examples. I have here an HTML, XHTML document, in fact, with a couple of errors. This time it's in the author page. So I have here, for example, an element which it's invalid in the current place, and oXygen proposed me to insert a valid element that can be inserted here, or to remove the invalid element, and you can easily remove it. Then I have another problem here. This time it's an attribute that it's added on the table, and you can easily remove it. You don't have to show the table and remove it from the table viewer, so on. So you can easily make a modification. And another problem here, this time says that an attribute is required on the image element, and you can easily add it, and automatically the in-place attribute editing starts, so you can type the value of the attribute that you want to add. And now I have a valid document. Similar problems are fixed also if you validate against a relaxed NG schema. So you have similar quick fixes. You can validate even against a relaxed NG compact schema. And I will show some example also for this type of quick fixes. So I have here a dogbook document, and I have a couple of errors. So here also I have an invalid element, and oXygen provides me the valid elements that can be inserted in place, or to remove the invalid element. I decide that it's not correct to add here a paragraph, so I'll just remove it. Then I have another problem here. This time it's an ID which is not correct, so the calls table is not correct. And oXygen proposed me valid IDs from the document that can be added here, and are IDs that have similar names. So if you have a lot of IDs, you'll get only the similar IDs that will match the current one. And I'll just correct it. There's another problem here. This time it's an attribute value that is not correctly set, and oXygen proposed me the correct values of the attribute. For the align, I will set to center, and automatically it fixes the problem. And also for the vertical align, I will set it to middle. And another problem here. This time it's an element which is required in the current place, So I can easily insert it and then type the value of the element. So the XML Quick Fixes helps you to solve your errors from your document, but offers also a better description of the problem. You can easily understand by seeing also the proposals that are shown, and you can easily understand the solution that can be applied. The modification is applied just by clicking the proposal, and also these fixes are available on both text and author page, so you can use it as you want. Next, we'll have Nico to present the Schematron Quick Fix support, and after that, I will come with the Schematron Quick Fix support that we have in oXygen. So the Schematron Quick Fixes are extensions of the Schematron language, and it's an open source project that Nico developed. And you'll see more about this.
I'll start this.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
I speak.
Oh, no. Let me give you. Yes.
So, do you hear me? Yeah, very nice. So, my name is Nico Kutschauer. I'm from Data Type. I'm XSLT developer. Yeah, I have to thank to George and Octavian that he asked me to join this session. I should do this more. Yeah. So yeah, I started with Quick Fix project, the Schematron Quick Fix project. And I want to start with a story about how I get this idea. When I was young and innocent, no. When I started to learn Schematron, I didn't know anything about Quick Fix, and I just wanted to learn Schematron, and I was reading the specification of Schematron, and I learned very much about rules and asserts, and I was very impressed how much is possible in Schematron. And then I came to the passage about the diagnostic element, and I read a natural language message giving more specific details concerning a failed assertion, such as found versus expected values and repair hints. And that was the first time in my life. It was good that my English is very bad. I misunderstood this passage, this sentence, and I translated in repair instructions. And I thought, wow, now you can design your own repair instructions. And a few seconds later, I was very disappointed because it is not this what I expected, and it is just a natural language message for the user to understand, to get more background and how to give repair hints. But what I want to say is there is a very small basic structure always in the Schematron specification to give repair instructions. But they are just human readable, so it's no processing instruction, it's just instruction for human processing. Yeah, and what I missed is alternatives. You cannot say, okay, this is a possibility to resolve this error, and there's another possibility to fix this error. Yeah, and that was the start of my idea. It was in my mind, and it didn't left. So I thought about what's necessary to design such real instructions, real repair instructions. And I thought it's need a human readable instruction too, because if I can say just fix 1 and fix 2, I don't know, the human does not know what the fix will do. And the human readable instruction should be connected to a technical instruction to repair the fix. And we need almost no error is just fixed by one way, where many cases where we need more ways to fix this error, because in this context is this the right fix, and in this other context is another fix the right way. And the user should be able to choose for every schematron error the fix, one fix. So maybe in a document are more fixes from the same schematron assertion, but in this one context is the fix A is the right solution, and in another error is fix B the right solution. So you need to choose what is the right fix, and this for each schematron error. Yeah, and then I thought, what do we need to implement this idea? And that was very much. I thought about the extension language of Schematron. Schematron does not provide this, but I thought you need to implement your own fix, because Schematron defines very specific errors, and there is no library who can give all fixes for each possible error in Schematron. We need a new or a extension workflow, Schematron workflow. Of course, a new implementation of Schematron, and a GUI and editor, and that's why I'm here, because the oXygen is the only editor who implement quick fixes, or they are developing on this. Yeah, and so let's start with the extension language I called Schematron Quick Fix. And let's start with the example. That's some code, it's Schematron code. There's a rule to match on title elements, maybe in an HTML document, and the test is that there should not be content in this, comments in this title element. And the message is comments are forbidden in title elements. So the next step is we need more space. And then I defined a new namespace with the prefix SQF to define a fix, a quick fix. With an ID, I called it delete comment because I want to delete the forbidden comments. Then there was the next step is the human readable description of the fix, and I choose a description element with a title and maybe more paragraphs to describe this to give more documentation to the user. And the title is delete the comment. And now you need some action elements. I called it activity elements. To delete, it's the simplest way, just delete element, and there's a match attribute to delete, to say what is to delete, and that's the context of this element is the actually title element. So it will just delete the comments in the title of the Schematron error. So, and the last step is not to forget, we need an association between the report and the fix, and that's another an extension attribute, SQF Fix, and you can list here more several IDs separated by space, so you can give here more fix make it available. Yeah, and there's the connection that here's the ID delete comment, and the next fix would be the resolve comment to resolve this in text nodes, the comment. So let's talk a little bit about quick fix. What can they do else? They do not just delete. A quick fix should always contains an ID, of course, and description, a title or optional paragraphs, and one or more activity elements. So you can define more activity elements, so they will be executed, or they will be executed. There are 4 kinds of activity elements. The first one we know already is the delete element, to delete one or more nodes. So you can, the title could contains more comments. So in this example before, so will be deleted. Every comment in the title element will be deleted because they're matching to all this XPath expression. So the replace element to replace nodes by another. So you define this element will be replaced by another or by a comment. You can add nodes. And the last activity element is you can replace substrings of text nodes. So you can analyze text nodes by regex expressions and define if the regex expression is matching, then replace this substring of the text nodes by an element, for example. Then there are some optional features for the quick fix. One is the use when construction. So you can define, sometimes a fix is not in every context useful. And then you can define the use when construction, just this situations when the quick fix should be available. We will see an example after that, I think. And then another feature is the user entry. That are parameters for the quick fix. Maybe you want to replace the title by a new title, and the user should define what the new content of the title is. And then you define a user entry with the title content, and the user can, and then if the user fix this quick fix, then the GUI should pop up an interface, and the user can enter the title content. Yeah, so the user will set the value of the parameter at the moment when the quick fix, and then he chooses the quick fix. So that was the quick fixes. How does that work? How it's possible that this works? I designed a new workflow for Schematron implementations. It starts with the old workflow of Schematron. So you have a Schematron document. This will transformed by the skeleton compiler of Schematron, and this transforms the Schematron document in XSLT, in an XSLT document, and this transforms the XML document into the SVRL report document. Yeah. And the GUI just display the XML document in connection with the pop-up reports in some way. So the next step was to replace the skeleton by own Schematron implementation. I called it a Scali, don't ask me why. It's also a Schematron compiler. My target is that this will be implement everything of Schematron. It's not yet at the moment, but yeah, I think I'm far with it. So then I designed this this extension language with the SQF prefix, with the SQF fix elements in the Schematron document, and now the Scali should pass this, transform and pass the SQF fix elements through the validator into the SVRL document as XSLT templates. So they are finished, almost finished XSL templates. The connection of a copy template, they would be fix this Schematron error by the, yeah, in this way the fix should do this. Yeah, but this is just Schematron validation, but now the GUI is able to display the fixes in connection with the errors, the Schematron errors. Yeah, that's the point that user have to choose the right quick fix, and there is just another style sheet, a new style sheet. I called it extractor to extract the XSLT templates, but just of a quick fix the user chose. User have chosen. Yeah, and the extractor built another style sheet that take the XSLT templates, okay, take the XSLT templates of the chosen quick fix and make the manipulator. And the manipulator fix the XML documents. So that's something behind the scenes of the SQF project. You will find me on my homepage, the Schematron Quick Fix. I'm sorry. Better? Yeah, sorry.
Needs to be.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, you will find me on the schematron-quickfix.com. George Biener and me founded the community with WCC community group. Join us. And you can follow me on Twitter if you want to be updated with the project. Yeah, on the website you will find the documentation about the schema of the extension language, references, and a user guide to learn Schematron Quick Fix. Yeah, and some software, the Escali, you can download at the moment in the state it's developed. Yeah, a small implementation in Xproc, but it's just to demonstrate that it is possible. It's a command line GUI, so you can pop up a HTML document and you have to copy the ideas of the quick fixes and put them into the command line. So it's not for the practice device. And coming soon, I hope, is the Escali plugin. I want to show some examples. So yeah, it's an oXygen plugin, and you see this example here. There's a title element, and yeah, there's a very long title and a forbidden comment. And if you validate, you will get your validation errors and also new views of the oXygen, so you can see the Schematron errors there too. But you can also use, you don't have to use this views, you can also work in the editor. So if you use the shortcut, you there will be displayed the two errors on this node. The comments are forbidden in title elements, and you can delete the comment. So they, at the moment, they will be replaced by oXygen PIs for displaying on the author mode. That's not the best way to example. For example, you can, the other error was that the text in the title element is too long, and you can take the title from the first headline. Maybe that's a better title, and then the title element will be replaced by use and short full title, which was this content of the H1 element. So, and if you see this in the author view, it's highlighted because of the oXygen PIs. So you can use this button to get this PIs away, to remove this the eyes, and now it's not more highlighted. Yeah, or if we go back to the error, you could also must be well formed. It's still buggy. Now, you can also say here's a quick fix to set a new title. So if you choose this fix interface, the pop-up interface, to set the user entry, and this has also a description, enter the text of the new title element, and if you click here you can say hello Prague and say okay, then the title content is hello Prague. So there's another example. You can, in this example, we have paragraphs elements, and they contains semantic date elements. There's the Schematron assertion that this date should be represent this title, so in the wide format. So there is a small f, it should be a large f, so then it's no more error. So I use the format date function, so I can compare this, and I want to show this because that's the way in the future, for the user entries. If I have two quick fixes. One would be set a new title attribute with a value of a figure. That's not so interesting. That's interesting. Set a new date for the date attribute. So I have to set a date from the type XSDate. And if I use this, the user entry asks me which is the right date. And if I click on this, there is no more text input, it's a calendar, so I can use the right date. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you.
Okay, I will show you also my work that was done on this Schematron Quick Fixes.
Up. So basically we took this language, and oXygen already had quick fixes support and some support for changing the document, and we implemented the same language but translated that to the support that was already available in oXygen for quick fixes. Because it's a little different, because we want to have the fixes directly in memory in the document, so we don't want to save, apply transformation. It should run directly on the document that you have open, for instance. And you see that it links a little with the previous presentation that applied, in a way, fixes refactoring across a set of files. This works more as you type, kind of thing, immediately as you change the document. Ready?
Okay.
Can I ask you? I have a question. Have you considered putting the quick fix elements in reports and assets instead of putting them in rules?
Well, you can refer to a quick fix from the assertion.
No, I mean in the
to define the element itself.
The element itself was under rule, and I see a couple of benefits of putting in reports and assets. The first one is that you can have several reports and assets in a single room, and then the fix, you don't know to which assets and reports to refer if it's just below the element. And the second reason would be that it would be standard Schematron.
Well, I think it is because they are as annotations for Schematron. Schematron allows any foreign namespace element in almost everywhere.
Yeah.
So the SQF language is defined as an annotation basically for Schematron.
But it's more natural to put it in the...
Well, I don't know if is there a restriction to not define the fix within an assert itself? But within
As
the assert you have the message basically, right? So
But you can put anything.
to add
that
directly.
maybe it's
it's
confusing.
it's
because
mixed
is
content.
that the message of the error message, or is that a quick fix? So
And maybe you want to refer the quick fixes from many asserts that you have in the same rule. So you want to
basically
reuse
define
it
a global
somehow.
fix and then refer the same fix from
You can,
multiple
yeah.
places.
But usually, well, at least I do, have very different assertions and reports in a single room. So how do you say that the fix refers to a single room?
Yeah.
Assert?
But you define the fix and you can give a unique name to that fix.
Yeah.
Refer that from that specific assert if you want to. But in general, a fix should be reused for multiple assertions.
Okay. So we provide quick fixes also for validation of an XML against a Schematron if you use the SQF language that Nico showed you. And we have a similar implementation. With what Nico does in the XMLPrague plugin. So we compile the Schematron Quick Fixes and we generate a language that can be understood by oXygen to provide the quick fixes that oXygen supports. So it somehow connects to the quick fix support that we already have on the other languages. And how is presented in oXygen? So the title element, the assertion message is presented on the top as a description of the problem. Then we have the title elements presented as the names of the quick fixes to be applied. We have a tooltip that will display the description of the quick fix. And also if you select the quick fix, then the actions defined in the quick fix will be applied in the editor. And I will show you some examples in oXygen. Okay, I have here Schematron. I have here a simple Schematron which asserts that the number of columns from a table are the same. So you need to have the same number of columns. And the quick fix was to fix the columns and add the same number of columns on each row. So if I go to my XML document, we see that I have here a table with 3 columns, 4 columns, 1 column, and no column. And the quick fix says that, okay, add enough columns on each row. And if you select it, all the table columns are added very easily. Then another example here, this time it's the column width. We have some column width here specified and exceeds the 100%. So it says, okay, you need to correct this somehow, and you need to set this proportionally to match 100, or just subtract from the last column, for example. And if you select to set it proportionally, just computes and set the values. Or you just want to fix by resizing the excessive from the last column. And another example here, this time it's on some nested lists, and it's in author page, and it says that the problem says that are too many nested lists, And the solution for this problem was to resolve the list as a plain text, so just unwrap and set it as plain text. And another example here, this time I have an HTML document with some comments in it, and I said, okay, I don't want comments in my document, so I created a quick fix that just remove the comments or set them as text, and you can easily remove all the comments from the document using this support. So we provide also a framework for this SQF language, so you can easily edit your SQFs and speed up, and also provides validation and content completion. And I will add just a fix here to see how this works. So if I want to add a new fix here, I just insert SQF fix, and the required attributes and elements are inserted. Then you can insert the operation that you want to perform. Let's say I want to add something here, and then I want to specify the type of the node, and oXygen provides me the nodes that can be inserted here. So I'll insert an attribute, and then I can insert the position where I want to insert it. Not for the attribute anyway. So what are the quick fixes, SQF quick fixes benefits? It's that you can create custom quick fixes for your problems and use the power of Schematron as a style sheet to develop your quick fix, and can work on different type of documents. And also you can use it as refactoring action, as you've seen. You just remove all the comments or fix the table, and you can define these rules and use it in every document that you have. So thank you very much. If you have questions or if you have time, yeah, maybe you are hungry.
If you really have a question.
If you really have a question.
Allow for range elements. It could, quick fixes, you can use XSLT instead of predefined steps.
Yeah, you can use XSLT inside of the add element, or so you can define for each loop, or yeah, everything with XSLT. The add element is just a XSLT template. So you can everything what you can use in the XSLT template, you can use now.
Yeah, here, so in the add, now I want to add an element, and then I want to add a fragment here. I can specify I want to add a fragment, and the fragment is defined by a style sheet, by a template that I will write it here, the content of the template anyway. So you can write anything in the add element here, anything that can be inserted in a template in a style sheet.
So basically we can insert
Can make processing and
dynamically generated from what you have in the document. You know, like processing the title that you have before that location where you identify the problem or things like that.
But the SQF add element will be
translated to an XSLT template.
yeah.
So can I write the template directly there?
Yeah.
The content.
The content.
The content
of the template, yes.
Yeah, like value of or whatever. Copy of or yes.
When is this going to be shipped?
Yeah, so we plan to have a new oXygen release probably in April, beginning of May at the latest. So it should be part of that, both refactoring support and the quick support. Awesome. And other things that you will see in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another question.
Yes.
Are you combining both facilities so that the quick fix works in the safe mode, preserving white space and don't have anything?
Yeah, basically the operations of the quick fix actions are very specific, localized to add an element here. So it doesn't change the other part of the document.
It's not XSLT.
Yeah, so it's safe.
but
It's not.
It's,
Yeah.
No.
It's to working with this expiry update.
No, it's actually, we already had operations in oXygen to perform quick fixes for XML, XSLT, and so on.
Yeah.
So we already have a set of basic actions to change the document in a safe mode, let's say.
Okay.
And we translate these to the same set of actions.
I see. Yeah.
So the changes are safe from this point of view, like white space, doc type, entities, and so on.
Okay,
Thank
let's
you
go.
very much for
Thank you.